702 Finance Feature.
11 minutes to 2 o'clock, and in our finance feature for today, we're chatting to Tinus Rautenbach, who is a business head at Clarity, around South Africans exploring digital investing. And we have to be so careful. 011-883-0702, the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702. Tinus, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Relebogile, and thanks for having me.
Tinus, didn't they tell you, apparently you're supposed to greet me first?
I wasn't sure whether I was in the room first or whether I'm coming into your room, but good afternoon.
Thank you so much for coming through. So, Tinus, I mean, a lot of people get nervous at this idea of any kind of digital investing, and maybe we can start with the definition, but already the fact that, you know, if you know your money's in the bank, you know where to go if it just disappears. You can physically walk somewhere and say, give me my money. But if it's something that just randomly disappears online, there's nerves around that. Share with us, what are we referring to when we say digital investing?
I think first place to start is that a lot of our world is now digital, and a lot of how we engage with our money and our investing is digital. You know, you've got your smartphone and what you do on your smartphone and how you're able to view your bank account for a lot of people and how you engage with some of your investments. It is becoming digital. And so when we're talking about self-service or self-directed digital investing, you are able to then look at your investments, whether it's all the way from a simple transactional account, savings account, all the way through to buying shares or then unit trust or other investments, but that you're able to do that yourself in a digital way, that you don't necessarily have to go to a branch or to a physical, office to be able to do that. Now, as digital improves and as more people have access to smartphones, it is possible for you to help yourself and direct how you invest. And that's really what we are talking about. 100% you need to be conscious of it being safe and secure and that you can trust it. And that's why we believe you should engage with a trusted brand and with a trusted service provider so that you know that your money is safe.
So let's talk, before we talk about the fear part, let's talk about the pros and the conveniences that come with, this kind of investing online where it's easy and to do it for yourself. What are the other pros of doing it that way?
I think as you engage more with how you think about your investments and what's important to you, both from a risk, so how long do you want, how easy do you want access to your money, and how comfortable with the volatility of money, so how your investments go up and down in value. As you become more and more comfortable with it, you've got a wider and wider range of investments that you can engage with. And so you don't only have to invest in necessarily South African assets, you can invest in overseas assets, you can invest in brands that you like and follow, like Samsung or Apple or McDonald's, and all of those kind of investments that is now available to you, even if you want to invest offshore. So, what's the advantages? Yes, you can do it yourself, but two, you've got access to a wide range of investments.
So now, if we are to talk about the risks, where, there are so many things happening digitally, it can be quite difficult to differentiate between what's safe and what's not. What are the cons?
I think you have to start, whenever you think about a digital safety, if someone sells something to you or proposes an investment to you and it just sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So let's start there, and especially in the digital world, you see a lot of ads or on digital social media like TikTok and other places. You get a whole lot of ads, etc., that show you these investments that looks like you can retire tomorrow. So the first thing is just when it looks too good to be true, it probably is. And then as I say, engage with brands that you trust and start slowly. Start by having a small investment in things that you understand and it's maybe fairly low risk. And as you become more comfortable with how you do this investment yourself, you can increase your risk and increase the type of instruments that you then invest in.
What are some of the very easy to identify red flags when it comes to investing digitally? And then can you share with us some of the platforms that you get access to lots of opportunities that are legit and safe?
So I think almost like you invited me into your room and
you didn't greet first.
you were talking too fast, so I couldn't. But I think that's a good principle. A good principle is where you are introduced to either an investment or investment platform by someone that you trust, not by someone that just knocks on your door and you don't know from a bar of soap. So let's start there. If you start with a trusted friend, family member, etc., that introduce you to a platform or a specific investment, that starts you off at a different place than where you just take the advice from either a cold call from somewhere via social media, direct on phone, or where you just follow a social media post, etc. So I want to say that that's a good way of introducing you to a new investment or investment platform. And then, as we run Clarity by Investec. It's a platform where you can do your own investments, where you can sign up. You don't need to be an Investec client. You can sign up, and you can then start small. We have got fractional exposure on the platform, so you can start with as little as 100 Rand into a small investment, and that can give you access to both local and offshore ETFs, which is a type of a fund-like exposure. So it's not only into one stock, or you can go and buy some of the stocks that you are maybe familiar with. So yes, trusted brand, easy, as well as the second thing to think about is as your friends, family, trusted people in your life can advise you or introduce you to a platform, that would be the way to go.
Can you maybe give us a guidance as to any kind of platform that actually can help all of us as individuals get to understand how these trading things work? Because it's easy for you to say, okay, I'm going to put away 250 Rand a month on this platform, and then I'm going to randomly select and then wait to see the numbers go up and down. Whereas there is a bit of a skill of what to look out for. So should a person be looking at the news to sort of assess what's happening in certain industries? Should they be studying previous performance? What should they be doing for them to start to get familiar with investing digitally?
So I think it's a good place to start. As I started, I said, you want to start with your 250 Rand and start as conservative as possible. And maybe that means you just put it into a savings product, a straightforward bank savings product where the 250 Rand is worth 250 Rand with a little bit of interest every month. And you build up a certain amount of rainy day fund or emergency fund. Once you've done that, you go a step up and you now say, okay, I want to invest. And now what do I invest in? Okay, let me invest in something that's fairly diversified, both maybe not only over industries, but over geography. So you look at some kind of an ETF potentially. In South Africa, the SATRIX 40 or the top 40 tracking type indices. Overseas, the S&P 500, the Eurostoxx 50. There are many type of ETFs that track these indices that gives you wide diversification, which means lower volatility in that investment. And then ultimately, last is where you get more specific and you want to take a view on a specific stock. Now, where are some of these places to learn? I want to say there are many websites that you can learn on. I want to point at something like Investopedia. That's a website, public website where you can get information on how to invest, and the differentiation between low risk type of assets and higher risk type of assets. But I'm going to say something maybe a bit controversial, but you can engage with your best AI friend, whoever that is, and start asking your AI friend, not specifically what do I have to buy, what do I have to sell, but to help you learn about investing and to really engage with AI potentially on learning about investing, not necessarily asking AI, okay, should I buy Coca-Cola today? But maybe asking, okay, so what type of investment should I be considering? What is lower risk? What is higher risk? And if I have these type of stocks, what should be the next thing that could give me diversification? That type of engagement, actually the new, as I say, the new AI tools is wonderful to help you learn.
Tinus, thank you so much for your time on 702 Afternoons Finance Feature.